People who lived at the end of the last century, and one or two of them that far alike, still remember the real or fictional characters of their time. Said that the morning was the symbol of terror for wandering children, and even more from the older ones who were looking for romantic adventures in the outskirts of the city, where they used to see her jumping behind fences. At that time, Loja City was a log rectangle, bounded in the north by Quito Street, in the south by Lourdes Street, in the east by Bernardo Valdivieso, and in the west by Sucre Street. Fences created boundaries that limited these stables and orchards. They were made of stones and in some cases plants, such as cactus, pencos, or mexicos, a tree that produces the popular mishke, drink that the new generations no longer recognize. And just behind these fences, the morning used to spy on her victims, whom she was going to attack. Who was she and what did the morning do? They said that nobody could see her face, because she always wore a black veil that covered her from her head to her waist, and only left a small chink for her eyes. She also wore a white black skirt, which reached her ankles, and because of all her black attire she was called the Mourner, a word derived from mourning. People claim that under the bed she carried a sharp dagger, and that she struck it without pity in the hearts of lovers who ventured by themselves in the loneliness of the alleys for their romantic encounters. According to the legend of the Mourner, she arrived in Loja City one day from somewhere in the province.
Seres extraños mi Loja habitará, solo el Zamora conmigo llorará.
A beautiful young lady named Palmira, who was as tall and slender as a palm tree, and her big green eyes contrasted with the blackness of her hair and long eyelashes, similarly as her cinnamon skin with the whiteness of her straight teeth.
¿Cómo pudo tu amor volverme triste por esta pobre entraña dolorida?
Naturally, the presence of this beautiful lady caused a flutter in the city, and she was invited to the best society parties. A gentleman approached her and asked her,
por este corazón que no te olvida.
Miss Palmira, we request the pleasure of your company at the next society party. We hope to have the honor of your distinguished presence. We ensure that this party will be unmatched because of you.
Como mi amor tuviste, si fuiste para mí fuente escondida.
The mayor of the city organized a magnificent society party where the most beautiful ladies came with their couples to dance and share great moments. And of course, Palmira was invited. At this party, many gentlemen asked her the opportunity to dance with them, but she rejected all of them except for one, José Javier, with whom she fell in love at first sight, and even more when, at the melancholic reading of a waltz, he took her in his arms and whispered in her ear affectionate words of love. After that, José Javier and Palmira met at more parties and attracted each other like magnets. And they lived in a world that was created and existed just for them. But this idyll that they believed would never end was broken one day abruptly when José Javier came to a party on the arm of a distinguished lady who had come back from studying abroad, and she was said to be the official girlfriend of José Javier. Since they were engaged before she went to study abroad.
Dear Palmira, in honor of our friendship, you know that I appreciate so much. Let me introduce my girlfriend and future wife.
Without any other sign of pain, apart from her accentuated pallor, Palmira accepted stoically the new situation before her. But as fast as she could, she snuck away from her numerous admirers who harassed her when they saw her alone. She went far away and no one ever saw her again. Nobody knew that when she was at home, all her pain was reflected in a madness attack that resulted in a serious intervention of her relatives and specialists who took her to the hospital. To those who were interested in asking about Palmira, either for honest friendship or for curiosity, her relatives told them that she went to live in Quito.
Good morning, madam. We're close friends of Palmira and haven't seen her for a while. We are really worried and we wondered if you could tell us something about her.
I really appreciate your concern. Palmira moved to Quito. She got the opportunity to live in a bigger city. It would help her to be happier.
We are happy to hear that she is okay, but also we are sad because she is far away from us. Thank you for the news, madam. Have a nice day.
All inhabitants got to know the news about Palmira thanks to the two ladies who spread the information that she moved to Quito. And effectively she did, but they were never told that she had gone completely mad because of the terrible betrayal that her feelings and her love suffered. and so they had to put her in an asylum for mentally ill people. After a long time there, the lady that was once beautiful and young aged so prematurely that at the age of 35, her head was completely gray, and she had the aspect of an old woman of 70. But since she looked completely peaceful and calm, one day the director of the asylum declared that she could reintegrate into normal life.
Palmira's family? Palmira is completely recovered, and I'm happy to tell you that she can return home with you.
And Palmira returned to Loja and to the house of the relatives who had welcomed her when the disaster occurred. Palmira's relatives lived near El Carmen Church, and with them she attended Sunday Mass, but on one of these occasions, fate wanted her to be situated by the door of the church when the man that she used to love too much appeared, who, with his wife, was trying to come into the church. Palmira's eyes turned into fire darts when she noticed the presence of the woman, who was holding his arm, and again she lost all reason. But her relatives stopped her, and someone coming into the church started to scream, "Help! Help! Please! Police! Police! Help!" Then the aggressor reacted and she escaped. Nobody knew who she had been, and they weren't interested in that poor woman who they thought was crazy. But at that time, she started to appear, jumping and hiding behind the fences on the outskirts of the city. The character named the Mourner, with her dark clothes, and whom many believed to be a ghost. Nobody saw her during the day, but as soon as the shadows of night started to cover the city, the Mourner hid like a feline behind the fences, and with the agility of a leopard, pounced upon her victims. her victims, who were exclusively lovers that wandered the loneliness of the alleys for their dates. Sympathy, and immediately she would run away, laughing with madness. Inhabitants of the city were awestruck with fear, and the police couldn't catch the Mourner because she only appeared wrapped in the shadows of night. Finally, an official had an idea, and after pondering it, he decided to put it into practice.
One policeman. You.
Yes, my commander.
You will dress up as a woman and will enter one alley on the outskirts of the city. And at approximately 7 p.m. you will meet me. And between us, we will act out a love scene so the mourner will believe that we are a couple of lovers, but we are not. Finally, we will confront her to reveal her secret. Are you with me?
Yes, my commander.
Dying of cold and fear because they weren't sure if the mourner was human or a ghost, the official and the policeman waited all night there until dawn. But the mourner never came. Nevertheless, the stubborn official didn't give up, and in spite of the mockery of other members of the regiment, he tried again the next day. The next night, they were in the same place again, and less than an hour later, they felt someone sneaking closer to them. Since they weren't as unsuspecting as the morning believed, as soon as they saw her sharp dagger shine, the official said,
If you are a soul of the other world, get away. But you are a person of this world, come closer.
The mourner didn't answer, but focused on the official trying to kill him. But the two men shot at the same time, and the mourner fell with a mortal wound. One shot had hit her head and another her heart. A few minutes later, she died. Almost all the inhabitants of the city, especially teenagers and children, went to the hospital morgue the next day to see the mourner. No one could even imagine that the old, tall, and thin woman was once that beautiful lady that shined in the society. Just her relatives recognized her when, moved by curiosity, they came to that place, and they found out the terrible surprise that the mourner was Palmira, their sad and hurt relative, and they swore they never saw her going out. They couldn't imagine that at night she went out, but the window of her room was in the front of the house, facing the street on the first floor. So surely that is how she escaped. They took up the body, and after the autopsy, they gave her a Christian burial, with which conclude this reign of terror and the name of the morning, who was only part of the legends and the stories that grandparents used to tell.
¡Muéranse!
Sarita, quítate por favor. Dame permisito.
Me causó mucho su preocupación, pero mi hija está muy enferma y ella en otros lugares, muchas cosas, no lo son, los chicos, para que ustedes dejen
Pasen, pasen. Camerinos todos. Kendall.
Tras cámaras, tras cámaras. No. Oye, sería buenazo poner bloopers.
Sí, yo creo
Y tú también, Sal.
sí, y tú ya mejor ponte a hacer.
Ahí vete. A ver, ¿qué te hago así como yo?
Oye, ahí.
Tras cámaras.
Ya te ponía. Para... Te falta la... Yuri, prepárate.
No, es que
Solo con la Isa que salga ya. Sí, no importa que se tira.
esa luz está bien.
Y las arrugas de la frente. Sombra, te faltan las de la frente. Las arrugas de la frente. Sí, ahí se te ve. No te quites. Cuidado, mi amor, te caes para allá. ¿Cuánto? Para el sitio, ¿ya?